Chatrapati Shivaji Maharaj was born on February 19, 1630, in the hill fort of Shivneri. He was born to Shahaji Bhonsle and Jijabai.
Shahaji was a military leader in the court of the Bijapur Sultanate. Jijabai was a deeply religious and strong-willed woman. She had a profound influence on young Shivaji's upbringing.
From an early age, Shivaji was exposed to the political complexities of the Deccan region. His childhood was spent in Pune under my care and his guardian, Dadoji Kondeo.
Dadaji was a capable administrator who taught Shivaji the art of management. Jijabai instilled in Shivaji a deep sense of Hindu values and a love for Marathi culture.
I narrated tales of Hindu epics and the brave deeds of his ancestors. These stories sparked Shivaji's imagination and shaped his character.
As a young boy, Shivaji displayed exceptional skills in martial arts and horseback riding. He was also keenly interested in religious and philosophical discussions. Shivaji's education was not limited to books. He spent a lot of time exploring the Sahyadri ranges around Pune. This helped him gain an intimate knowledge of the terrain. This knowledge would later prove crucial in his military campaigns.
By my teenage years, I had already started dreaming of an independent Maratha kingdom. I was deeply troubled by the oppression of Hindus under Muslim rule.
At the age of 16, Shivaji took his first step towards his dream. He captured the Torna fort from the Bijapur Sultanate. This marked the beginning of his lifelong mission to establish Swaraj, or self-rule. Little did anyone know that this young boy would grow up to become one of India's greatest warriors and administrators. Shivaji's journey to power began in earnest with the capture of Torna Fort in 1646. This audacious act, accomplished when he was just 16, signaled the birth of a formidable military leader.
Following this success, I went on to capture several more forts in quick succession. These included the strategically important Rajgarh and Pratapgarh forts.
Each victory added to his growing reputation as a skilled military strategist. One of Shivaji's most famous early victories came in 1659 at the Battle of Pratapgarh. Here, he faced off against Afzal Khan, a seasoned general of the Bijapur Sultanate. Afzal Khan, confident in his superior numbers and experience, had come to crush the young upstart. However, Shivaji outmaneuvered him both diplomatically and militarily.
In a dramatic encounter, I killed Afzal Khan in single combat. Then, I routed the Bijapur army in the ensuing battle.
This victory catapulted Shivaji to prominence across the Deccan. It established him as a force to be reckoned with. The Bijapur Sultanate, which had previously dismissed Shivaji as a minor nuisance, now saw him as a serious threat. The victory also boosted the morale of Shivaji's followers. It convinced many that their dream of an independent Maratha state was achievable.
In the years following Pratapgarh, I continued to expand my territory. I captured more forts and won several battles against the Mughals and other regional powers.
His growing power alarmed the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb. In 1664, Shivaji audaciously sacked Surat, the major Mughal port city. This daring raid not only brought him immense wealth, but also demonstrated his ability to strike at the heart of Mughal territory. These early victories laid the foundation for what would become the Maratha Empire. Shivaji Maharaj is renowned for his mastery of guerrilla warfare. He developed these tactics out of necessity. His forces were often outnumbered by his enemies. Shivaji turned this disadvantage into a strength.
I used the mountainous terrain of the Western Ghats to my advantage. My light cavalry could move swiftly through difficult terrain. This allowed me to launch surprise attacks and quick retreats.
One of Shivaji's most innovative tactics was the use of Ganami Kava, or guerrilla tactics. This involved swift, unpredictable attacks on enemy forces. He would strike when and where the enemy least expected. Then, he would quickly withdraw before the enemy could regroup. This tactic frustrated larger, more conventional armies. It allowed Shivaji to defeat forces many times the size of his own.
I also excelled in the art of siege warfare. I understood the importance of forts in controlling territory. I captured, renovated, and built numerous forts across my domain. These forts served as secure bases for my operations. They also provided refuge during times of danger.
Shivaji's network of forts was so extensive that he earned the title Gadkari, or Fort Man. Another key aspect of Shivaji's military genius was his use of naval power. He recognized the strategic importance of controlling the coastline.
I built a strong navy to protect my coastal territories. This navy also conducted daring raids on enemy ports. My naval capabilities were far ahead of my time in the Indian context. They played a crucial role in safeguarding the Maratha kingdom from naval invasions.
Shivaji's innovative military tactics not only won him battles, but also inspired future generations of Indian freedom fighters. As Shivaji's power grew, so did the scope of his military campaigns. He embarked on a series of conquests that would significantly expand the Maratha territory.
One of my most notable campaigns was against the Mughals in the mid-1660s. Despite being vastly outnumbered, I managed to outmaneuver the Mughal forces led by Shaista Khan.
In a daring night raid on Shaista Khan's quarters in Poon, Shivaji and his men inflicted a humiliating defeat on the Mughals. Following this, Shivaji turned his attention to the rich port city of Surat. In 1664, he led a surprise attack on Surat, then the principal port of the Mughal Empire.
This raid not only brought immense wealth to the Maratha coffers, but also struck a significant blow to Mughal prestige.
The sack of Surat demonstrated Shivaji's ability to strike deep into enemy territory. It also highlighted the vulnerabilities in the Mughal defenses. In the years that followed, Shivaji continued to expand his territory in all directions. He conquered parts of present-day Karnataka and Tamil Nadu in the south. In the north, he extended his influence into Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh. These conquests were not just about territorial expansion, they also helped in establishing a vast network of allies and tributaries. This network would prove crucial in sustaining the Maratha Empire long after Shivaji's time.
One of my most ambitious campaigns came towards the end of my reign. In 1674, shortly after my coronation, I launched a major expedition into the Carnatic region. This campaign, known as the Carnatic Expedition, saw my forces marching as far south as Thanjavur.
The expedition resulted in the conquest of several important forts and cities. It also established Maratha influence in the deep south. This campaign showcased the extent of Shivaji's military and political ambitions. It laid the groundwork for future Maratha expansion in the region.
Shivaji Maharaj was not just a brilliant military strategist, he was also a visionary administrator. He introduced several reforms that laid the foundation for a strong and efficient state. One of his key innovations was the Ashtapradhan system. This was a council of 8 ministers, each with specific responsibilities. This system ensured a balanced and efficient administration. It also prevented any single individual from becoming too powerful.
Another significant reform was in the field of revenue collection. Shivaji introduced a fair and systematic method of land assessment and tax collection. He abolished the Jagirdari system prevalent under the Mughals. Instead, he implemented a direct taxation system. This system was more equitable and reduced the scope for corruption. Shivaji also encouraged agriculture and protected the rights of peasants. This ensured a stable economic base for his kingdom.
Shivaji paid great attention to building a strong military infrastructure. He established a regular army with fixed pay. This was a departure from the feudal system where soldiers were paid through land grants. Shivaji's army was well trained and disciplined. He also established a navy, recognizing the importance of sea power. These military reforms ensured that the Maratha army remained a formidable force long after Shivaji's time.
In matters of justice and social reform, Shivaji was ahead of his time. He promoted the use of Marathi language in administration and court proceedings. This made governance more accessible to the common people. Shivaji was also known for his religious tolerance. He respected all faiths and had many Muslims in high positions in his army and administration. He also took steps to abolish discriminatory practices against women and lower castes. These progressive policies helped in creating a more inclusive and just society.
The coronation of Shivaji Maharaj in 1674 was a watershed moment in Indian history. It marked the formal establishment of the Maratha Empire. The coronation took place at Raigad Fort on June 6, 1674. It was a grand affair, attended by nobles from across India. The ceremony was conducted according to ancient Hindu traditions. Shivaji was bestowed with the title of Chatrapati, or paramount sovereign. The decision to hold a coronation was a strategic one. It legitimized Shivaji's rule in the eyes of other Indian rulers. Until then, Shivaji was seen by many as a rebel or a guerrilla leader. The coronation established him as a sovereign in his own right. It also sent a strong message to the Mughals and other powers. The Maratha kingdom was now a force to be reckoned with on the Indian political stage.
The coronation ceremony itself was a lavish affair. It combined elements from various Hindu traditions. Gagapat, a renowned priest from Varanasi, was brought in to conduct the rituals. The ceremony included the weighing of Shivaji against gold, which was then distributed to Brahmins. Shivaji also took on many of the royal insignia associated with Hindu kingship. These included the sacred thread of the Kshatriyas and the royal umbrella.
Following the coronation, Shivaji embarked on a series of administrative and military reforms. He introduced a new royal seal and started minting his own coins. He also reorganized his administration to reflect his new status as a sovereign ruler. The coronation thus marked not just a personal triumph for Shivaji, but the birth of a new era in Indian history. It set the stage for the Maratha Empire, which would go on to become a dominant force in Indian politics for the next century. Shivaji Maharaj's personal life was as fascinating as his public persona. He was known for his simple lifestyle despite his royal status. Shivaji was a devoted husband and had several wives, as was common for rulers of his time. His first and most prominent wife was Saibai, who bore him his successor, Sambhaji. Despite his polygamous marriages, Shivaji was known for his respect towards women. He had strict laws in his kingdom against harassment of women. Shivaji was deeply religious and drew inspiration from the Bhakti saints of Maharashtra. He was particularly influenced by his spiritual guru, Samarth Ramdas. However, Shivaji's religious devotion did not make him intolerant. He respected all religions and had many Muslims in high positions in his court and army. He even had a copy of the Quran in his personal library. This religious tolerance was a key feature of his rule and administration.
One of the lesser-known aspects of Shivaji's character was his love for knowledge and culture. He was a patron of arts and literature. He encouraged the use of Marathi in administration and literature, giving a boost to the language. Shivaji was also known for his interest in architecture. Many of the forts he built or renovated showcase innovative architectural features. He had a personal library with books on various subjects, indicating his wide-ranging interests.
Shivaji was known for his strong moral character and ethical principles. There are many stories that illustrate his sense of justice and compassion. One famous incident involves a beautiful woman captured during a campaign. When she was brought before Shivaji, he addressed her as mother and ensured her safe return to her family. Such acts earned him the respect and loyalty of both his subjects and his enemies.
Shivaji's personal character and values played a crucial role in shaping the ethos of the Maratha Empire.
The legacy of Chatrapati Shivaji Maharaj extends far beyond his lifetime. He is remembered not just as a great warrior and king, but as a symbol of Indian sovereignty and resistance against foreign rule. Shivaji's life and achievements inspired many Indian freedom fighters during the struggle for independence. Leaders like Bal Gangadhar Tilak and Vinayak Damodar Savarkar invoked Shivaji's name to kindle nationalist sentiments.
Shivaji's administrative and military systems had a lasting impact on Indian governance. Many of his innovations in revenue collection and military organization were adopted by subsequent rulers. The Maratha light cavalry, which Shivaji had perfected, remained a formidable force in Indian warfare for centuries. His emphasis on naval power was ahead of its time and influenced later Indian rulers to focus on maritime strength.
In Maharashtra, Shivaji's influence is particularly strong. He is seen as the founder of Maratha identity and pride. His promotion of Marathi language and culture laid the foundation for the strong linguistic and cultural identity of Maharashtra. Many public institutions, awards, and landmarks in Maharashtra are named after Shivaji. His birth anniversary is celebrated as a public holiday in the state.
Shivaji's legacy extends beyond India as well. He is studied in military academies around the world for his guerrilla tactics and strategic brilliance. His administrative reforms and emphasis on naval power are considered ahead of their time. In recent years, there has been renewed interest in Shivaji's life and achievements. New biographies and historical studies continue to explore different aspects of his rule and personality. Shivaji Maharaj thus remains a figure of enduring fascination and inspiration, his legacy continuing to shape Indian history and culture centuries after his time.